In this video, I'm going to show you the 4 best locations to consider in Brisbane at this point in time for under $800,000. And the first location I want to go through is Yamanto. Now, this location is southwest of Brisbane CBD. It is pretty much on the essential outskirts of the entire city itself, but it is a location full of potential and is actively undergoing some serious growth at this point in time. And like always, I like to go through the data first because it is so important we understand what is going in terms of the micrometrics. Now, the median buy price is around $883,000, with the median buy price for 3 bedrooms is around $806, with a yield of around 3.16%. So again, not the best yield, and that's going to be a reoccurring theme with a bunch of these suburbs that I'm about to talk about. But when we start to look at the data, you can see it has been performing extremely well over the past 3 to 5 years, and it's likely going to continue performing at a very strong rate. Median rents are just around 1% increase over the past 12 months, which isn't great, but it isn't too bad either. But when we look at the fundamentals of it, the socioeconomics are good. It's a 4 ERSAT score with 31% rented to owner occupier ratio, which means that a lot of owners actually want to live here, which is a good thing to see because some of these other suburbs have higher RO ratios, which I'll talk about a bit later. And when we start to look at the affordability, we can see the affordability is under 40 years. Now, to be honest, I like to target suburbs under 35 years, but when we're talking about Brisbane city or city location, metro locations, it's hard to find any suburbs under 35 years. And usually you find if it's under 50 years, it's generally a good sign that you could waive off this metric. So when it's under 40 years, it is something I would consider. And when we start to look at the micro data behind it, you can see that demand and stock levels are in the right trajectories, with stock levels still plummeting after all this record growth. It's still getting lower and lower, which is what we like to see. And demand is ever so high, with some properties selling less than 19 days on average. And inventory is only going to last you about 1.2 months if no more new listings came on the market, which is very, very strong market. And once again, vacancy rate is also super low with around 1%. So a very, very tight rental market, a very good data set behind it, indicating us that supply and growth is there and that we're going to get further capital growth in this area. And even though it's on the outskirts of Brisbane CBD, it is an established suburb in that Ipswich corridor with good owner-occupier appeal. It has got some amenities, large retail stores, schools, etc., and also located on the Cunningham Highway right across to Brisbane CBD. Now, there is some things you could be concerned about because it's on the outskirts of CBD. It is more prone to oversupply or new estates being released in the nearby area. But that is simply a risk you're going to have to take if you have a budget of under $800,000, because a lot of the inner city suburbs are well past that mark in that $1 million range. So this is a risk you just have to take. And as you can see, there are some other nearby suburbs like Ripley, which is already paved out for new developments. You can see the cookie cutter style homes, but that is something you just have to accept, unfortunately. Now, an example of a property here, you have this one, which is a 3x1 sold for $745,000. Not a bad property overall, clean interior, and something like this you can pick up for under $800K. Now, someone is going to look at this property and be like, well, this is located on a main road. Well, that's simply a trade-off you have to make if you're looking under a specific budget. But this is another example, another 3x1 sold for $812,000. So you really know it is possible. If you have around that $800K budget, you can purchase in this suburb. And when you start to break down the numbers of a suburb like this, $812,000, you're around 200 grand all in with 20% deposit, around 550K in rent, so only 3.5% yield. So your net profit / cash flow before tax is around 20K negative, and then after tax is around 12K. So definitely not good on the side of cash flow and could impact your overall serviceability in the future and your scalability of your property portfolio. But you really can't go wrong with holding a metro asset long term. It's going to grow in value. We kind of know that already. But that is the first suburb I want to talk about. Yamanto, it's a good location, worth your consideration. Go have a look at the data, go have a look at the properties that you can buy there. And if that's your budget and you're trying to buy in Brisbane CBD, this is one to consider. And before I go any further, guys, if you haven't already, jump into the private community. There is so much value jam-packed into this community that you will not regret it by joining. And we talk about suburbs like this every single day. I help people with their strategy. I help people identify the locations that they could be considering for all types of budget, from 500 to 600 to 700 to 800 to 900 and more. So if you do need the help, close to over 300 members helping each other out on a daily basis, it is an absolute banger value for money. When you're buying $1 million asset to $500,000, spending $35 a month, it's a no-brainer. It's a subscription model, guys. Come in, leave whenever you want. It's up to you. No strings attached. Jump into the community today, guys. Let's get back into the video. Now, the next location I want to talk about is Goodna in Brisbane CBD. And once again, this is sort of on the southwest corridor of the city itself, very close to a river. I'm going to talk about the sort of floodplains issue a bit later in the video because it applies to all the suburbs I'm talking about. But this is a nice established little location that you can consider for under $800,000. And when we start to look at the data, you can see the median buy price is around 800K with a 3.5% yield. So definitely achievable under that price point. And like with all the other suburbs in Brisbane CBD, it has been growing astronomically over the past 3 to 5 years, and rents haven't been the best in terms of growth as well, and hence yields have compressed in that market. But there is still potential for this market, and I will get into it. But there are some trade-offs that you have to accept. Unlike Yamanto, you can see that in terms of the fundamentals, it has a lower socioeconomic score, so a bit more of a rougher crowd, you can say, in that area with an ERSAT score of 1, and the rented to owner occupier ratio is 48%, which means there's a lot more investors in that area, which means more competition when it comes to rentals, and it could be harder to lift rents, and you might face more competition when you look to sell your asset. However, it is not necessarily a deal breaker, but it is something you have to accept and trade off if you want to consider a suburb and a market under 800K in Brisbane CBD. And when you look at the affordability, it is not as good as Yamanto, which was under 40 years. This is under 50 years, which means once again, this is already starting to be a bit out of reach for the people in this location. However, we still expect future price growth to occur because the stock levels and the demand levels are still at record highs, with demand just increasingly picking up. Now, we can see that stock has sort of loosened up over the past couple of months. It could be because of the December period. There could be slightly more properties on the market. However, since demand is so high, it is likely that stock will be depleted very, very soon into the new year, and we're going to continue to see strong price growth in this area. And you can see vacancy is a bit worse than Yamanto, around 1.89%, but it's still worthy of consideration when you're looking for specific suburbs under 800K in a metro city. And this is an example of a property that you could purchase. This one was sold on the 10th of December 2025 for $780,000. A nice brick asset, decent interior, nice tiles, something that could be rented out straight away. And by the way, you can actually find properties cheaper than this. They might need some work, they might not be brick, but I'm trying to find good quality assets that you can just buy and hold for under $800,000. And this is an example of that property here. And when you look at the property on the map, you can see it's in a nice tucked away corner. You can have a look at established pocket, obviously double check all your public housing and all that good stuff. But that's an example of a property in Goodna which you can pick up for under 800K today. And yes, before someone says flood risk, yes, I will get onto that at the end of the video because it needs to be covered with all the other suburbs as well. The next location I want to talk to you guys about, and I think has very good potential in the long term, is Bundamba. And Bundamba benefits from a lot of strong transport connectivity because of the train station and the major highway connecting it to the employment hubs as well as the wider Brisbane CBD. So this is a very good location in terms of an infrastructure point of view and also from a data point of view. And I will show you. When we look at Bundamba, once again, median prices under 800K, 3.5% yield. The same story as the other suburbs I've been talking about. And you can see price growth has been strong over the past 3 to 5 years, but rental growth once again is a little bit poorer. Now, this suburb actually falls the in-between of Yamanto and Goodna. ERSAT score is 2, so slightly better, and rented to owner occupier ratio is 42%. So it's still not good, but it's better than what Goodna was. So it has a little bit more favorability towards owners and better sort of people who live there in general. And when we start to look at the affordability, it's a little bit better than Goodna, but not as good as Yamanto. This one is around 45 years, so not the worst, not the best. But when we look at the supply and demand metrics, this is what is so shocking. It is such low stock in this area with such high demand that it is almost inevitable that we will see strong price growth into 2026 until this data changes, until we see more stock coming on the market. But we're going to continue seeing prices rise in this area over 2026, and that is what I believe. And it's going to be supported by good infrastructure, good retail shops close by, and then you've got the train stations and strong connectivity as well. And when you look at the assets like this, you can pick up this weatherboard house for around 800K, a decent quality interior, nothing too flashy, not like a brick home. It's a decent amount of land space, around 800 square meters, sold in November for 800K. So a good potential sort of property that you could purchase in Bundamba over here, close to the highway, close to the schools, close to parks, etc. And look, even if you can't afford a house in that area for under 800K, you should be looking to pick up assets like this if you want to stick to metro areas. A decent little townhouse block sold for 600K, full of potential. It's sort of a villa-ish area, but something like this would also grow in capital over time. Now, for 600K, you could consider other regional locations locations. But if you have a super low risk appetite, you want to buy in Brisbane CBD under a certain budget, then this is something you could also consider as an example. But if you're under 800k, you can purchase a property, a house in Bundamba, and it's a good location to consider. Now, the last location I'll talk about is Beenleigh, in sort of that southeast corridor of Brisbane CBD. It's a location with lots of potential, and I think has a very good prospect in future of being a little bit of a mini hub between Gold Coast and Brisbane CBD. It is very, very close and sits in quite a strategic location with strong rail access, major road links, and proximity to other employment nodes and hubs, right? Which is going to underpin its long-term development in this location. And entry prices are still relatively accessible for under 800k price point. Yield is not the best, only around 3%. So you're really going to stretch on the cash flow side of things. But 12-month growth is very strong, around 16%. Rental growth is poor, as we know. Now, once again, it's not the best in terms of the fundamentals, though. ERSAT score is 1 and renter to owner occupier ratio is 53%. Most of the times, if you use your normal filtering metrics, this suburb would fall out. So I really had to make a concession to include it because I think it has great potential in the future, being a very strategic location between Brisbane and Gold Coast and has a lot of infrastructure going for it. And when you look at the affordability, once again, if you put the metrics right, this is going to fall out. So I really had to make some concessions, and you can see it's above 50 years. But demand and supply is still looking relatively good. Stock has remained flat over the past couple of months, but demand is still remaining pretty high, and hence we're seeing that price growth occur at the moment and over the past couple of years. You can actually still pick up a decent 4x2 like this for $800,000. Decent interior, nothing flashy, could do with some little bit of works here and there, but it still has good potential to pick up properties like this for under 800k in the heart of a good little location to consider. Of course, in this nice little pocket over here, close to the major highways and towards Brisbane CBD and to Gold Coast. But once again, if you do consider it, you do have to make these concessions that you can see on the screen right here. Now that I've shown you 4 great suburbs to consider for under $800,000 in a Brisbane CBD, a metro location, with all of these suburbs, I do need to talk about one major issue, and that is to do with flood zones. Now, flood zones is a real thing with a lot of these suburbs in southwest and southeast Queensland, in Logan City and in Ipswich. In fact, when we look at Yamanto, we can see that parts of it do flood and can occur flash flooding. So you do have to be very careful about which pockets that you consider to invest into. Now, Yamanto is fairly okay, but there is still some parts. When you have a look at Goodna, you can see quite a number of the parts near the or closest to the river fall under that flood zone, and you do have to really be careful about which streets you purchase and double check your insurance, talk to your property manager, check your flood zones, and also see if there's been any flood damage to the property in the past. Goodna, you do have to be careful. Very similar to other locations as I mentioned. Bundamba, you can see parts of it do flood. You can see the streets closest to the river once again are on the edge, like Cleary Street. If you're buying properties there, you have to really be careful. Do they fall under that flood zone? Any flood history in the past, please be careful. And last but not least, when we look at Logan City and you have a look at Beenleigh, you can see many number of streets fall under the flood zone. So if you do purchase under it, double check it, double check your public housing, double check your flood zones, and make sure it doesn't fall under those issues. You want to be avoiding those streets. It could cause issues. Otherwise, make sure the street's on a slope, make sure your property's on a hill away from potential flooding. So it's just make sure you're doing those double checks. Now, I hope this video has helped you pick locations in Brisbane CBD for under $800,000. I had to make some concessions for certain suburbs because otherwise there would be nothing under 800k. These are probably not the best suburbs from a fundamental perspective of socioeconomics and ERSAT and renter to owner occupier ratio and hold period. It is some of the best suburbs to consider from a longevity perspective, infrastructure perspective, and a supply and demand metric. And I do have faith that these will continue to grow into 2026. Like always, if you have any questions, jump into the private community. I am here to help you. We have other investors here to help you, and you can come and you can try it for a month. If you don't like it, you can leave. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. And also, it is an amazing opportunity for you guys to access property investment help without paying a fortune to a buyer's agent or to a property guru charging $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000. This is $35 a month, guys, and we're here to help you. Till next time, thank you very much.